Good morning, everybody. This is Steve at the Worley Bugger. Today, Wednesday, the 19th of August. This is looking at a short-winged stonefly. This is the male. See his short wings don't fully grow to extend across his body. Watch how fast they are. That's how quickly they move across the water. So Yakima today is still unexpectedly running plumb full. It's probably due to a couple different scenarios. I haven't been able to dig up an explanation yet, but we'll look and see what they have to say today. They've done a real good job of managing water this summer with what we had, what people didn't get. I know it doesn't look like a drought year, but it actually is. The river today running in the high 3000s here through the farmlands, just above Ringer Road, entering the lower Yakima Canyon. According to the graphs, the river's going to continue about this pace the rest of the week into the weekend. Originally this spring, late spring, they had announced that the river would drop earlier into the flip-flop mode. That's the flip-flop when they bring the Yakima down, increase the flows in the Natchez Basin for lower valley irrigators. But the river today continues to run at its summer pace, and probably due to there's still good water in the reservoirs. They've been using a lot of it to fight the fires. Big fire up in the Cooper Lake Clay Elm area. Now we had some rainfall on Tuesday night, about 2 inches, which really helped. But then yesterday, excess wind here, you know, in the upper 20s, maybe even 30 miles an hour, and it's got the fire moving. And only about 2% containment in that fire right now. The smoke today is pretty good, except in the west there. There's quite a bit of haze, quite a bit of smoke. But down on the river floor here, and I've spoke with a couple other guides over the last couple of weeks when we've been out in it. Not near as bad on the river, and it must have something to do with, you know, the amount of evaporation, the amount of water running through the river. It's not near as bad when you're on the river as what it is when you're, you know, in town or at your house. That's at least what I'm experiencing. So hopefully, the good news is we're having cold nights and, you know, days mostly in the 80 degrees. Could be a lot warmer. You know, August, you know, we usually see triple-digit heat, so there are a couple of 90-degree days, but all in all, things are cooling down, and you know, the water temperature is great. Even Montana is cooling down and starting to lift a lot of their hoot owl restrictions too, which is great news for them, seeing as they are in a drought year as well. So everything's kind of playing out. We can hope, you know, as we do enter the flip-flop mode, that the conditions continue to cool off, and as the river comes down, the water temperatures will come down, and that'll produce, you know, great fall fishing. You know, we got our prime time Yakima River fly fishing coming up here, September, October, even, you know, the last few Novembers staying warm and producing, you know, great blue wing fishing all the way into November. So that is on the horizon, and we're starting to book dates for that now. So if you want to get a date on the book with us, give us a call as soon as possible and reserve your date. The big stonefly hatch happening. Of course, the big females will start showing up too as the river starts dropping. The males always show up a couple of weeks early before the females. The females show up, and then fishing gets really exciting. Still lots of grasshoppers around, and that continues into the month of September as well. And as things start cooling off, of course, we get our mayfly fishing with blue wings, light Cahills, mahoganies. Big October, big orange October caddis show. Up towards the end of September and push all the way into November. Lots of things happening in the fall coming up. Salmon in the river, spring chinook, coho, sockeye will all be spawning at different times throughout the fall. So just a host of really good fishing. Again, I'll remind you, 1,800 cubic feet, that number where you can come over and, you know, safely wade the river. The Yakima, you have to imagine, you know, this amount of water running for this number of days through the river creates big, deep holes. It moves a lot of sediment, a lot of rock along the bottom throughout the summer. So even at 1,800, you have to pick your spots where you can carefully wade, because the river is super deep, especially after having two gigantic floods in December and March. So, but fantastic fishing on the horizon for sure. Fall is a beautiful time to get out on the river. Got a big fly shop sale going on. I know that, you know, a lot of you know that I have the fly shop up for sale. 30 years I've been at this. Been blessed by God to, you know, do what I love for 30 years. But coming to the end of my career here, and got the fly shop for sale. Got a few bites, a few people interested. On Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 20% off everything in the store. So if you need to stock up for fall fishing, you can get some great deals. You've been to our store before, you know we have lots of pegs, lots of stuff to sell. So phone orders are always welcome. We ship daily out of the fly shop. So any questions, feel free to give us a shout. River is fishing good. You know, although I will say, like, I did have a friend call me a couple days ago, and we were talking, and he had some friends come over with their drift boat and floated the river last week, and people are really surprised. They didn't find good fishing, but you know, when you don't know the Yakima or know, you know, any certain river, it takes a lot of time to get to know a river, where fish, you know, hold, what they're feeding on at certain times of the year. And these high flows really take people by surprise. you really move along quickly. And you know, being a master at the oars is a must on the Yakima. Being able to control the boat speed, you know, to be able to put you on fish and get good drifts. I mean, if you can row this river in the summer, you can pretty much row just about any river because of the high volumes and the ability to put people on fish. You know, even people that aren't very good fly fishermen. You know, it takes a lot of skill to operate a boat and go from point A to point B safely. You know, and put people on fish all day. So as those flows start coming down, and we've also had, there's a lot of new trees in the river, so as these flows start coming down, we're going to see stuff start moving. Stuff always moves in high water, but it moves a lot, you know, once the water starts dropping, the high water that had it pinned in place starts moving away from it and will cause it to shift, and we'll have to keep an eye on that during the fall. So just a heads up if you are, you know, a do-it-yourselfer. Keep your head on a swivel at all times. So, but yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to call the Pro Shop anytime. We're happy to help. And we'll see you out here on the river.